Hello, my name is Jara Hayes, and I will be conducting an interview with Miss Catherine Walker and Miss Arlene Manning. This is for Activity 9. This is now their informed consent forms. I'm going to have them to sign them before we begin this interview. Okay, so ladies, I'm going to get you to sign those. And as I explained to you before, this is just a precaution for you to sign these forms for the interview. You okay?
No.
Here you go. Okay. During this is, can I have your name? Can you just state your name and your relation to the young lady sitting next to you?
My name is Catherine Walker, and I'm sitting next to my sister, Arlene Manning.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Arlene Manning, and I'm sitting next to my sister, Catherine Walker.
Okay. Thank you. The form has been signed and dated by both interviewees. Okay, so the reason we're going to discuss some of the family situations that you guys have been in. Ms. Walker, how old are you? Your age?
I'm 61 years old.
And Ms. Manning?
I'm 72.
72. Okay, so there is we could say, 10, 11 year difference between the two of you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, first let's start off by asking, do you have any questions? Do you have any things that you want to talk about in particular in reference to the relationship that you and your sister have? Either one of you?
Not really, because we have a good relationship.
Yeah, so overall you have a good relationship with each other.
Yes.
Okay, well, how would you describe your relationship? The relationship, let's start with the relationship that you have now. How would you describe that relationship?
I would describe it as we're very close. She is the oldest sibling, and I tend to seek her advice on a lot of issues in my life.
Okay.
By me being the oldest and Kathy being the only sister that I have out of my siblings, we are very, very close. We look out for one another, and if we have one another's back, if one is down, the other one is there to pick them up.
Okay. So you guys pretty much have a really good, solid relationship. You would consider it to be really solid?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take it back to when you were younger. What if any issues, if there were issues, for instance, if by Miss Manning being, 11 years older, I'm pretty sure she was able to do other things that you weren't at the time. But were there any deeper issues that surrounded you guys' relationship? Were you both brought up in the same household?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And how did that go for both of you?
Well, when Kathy was first born, I thought that she should have been a bigger baby, and I always remember getting the baby cereal box and taking it to my mother and showing her the baby that was on the box, because she was a petite baby. But as she got older, I guess around 4 or 5 months old, I would take and just about carry her everywhere, my girlfriends and I, because none of us had a young sister, so she was like maybe a baby doll to us that we would all gather around and carry her and everything.
Okay.
The early years, I remember my sister liked me to have things, and she would always, if it was something that I said that I wanted, she would always make a way for me to get it. And even though sometimes it went against what my mom said, she would always make a way. And I remember in the early years of her being in college, and she used to take me to college with her, and I could get in the pool. She'd take me to the games, and she afforded me a lot of opportunities that children at that age, my age, they didn't have.
Okay, so is it safe to say that you looked up to your sister, but only because she was able to do certain things for you, more like spoil you? Or was there a different underlying reason as to why, you really looked up to her, admired her?
I admired her because I always felt protected by her. I always felt like when I was in her company, it would be no harm. No harm would come to me.
Okay, so you felt safe.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Were there any differences between the two of you that at one point, became an issue?
Well, my mom told me that when I was real little, and I can't remember this because the difference in our complexion, my mom said that I would cry and say I wanted to be white like my sister. I don't remember that. I don't remember having any color barriers or issues when I was coming up. I don't remember any.
Okay, so how does that make you feel, Miss Manning, knowing that your sister once wanted to be your particular skin color?
Well, by me being 11 years older than her, I used to think it was a joke. But what my mother would do, she would explain to Kathy and me, and she would point out that in our family we had different complexions, but it was the love that was there, so it was never an issue. And like I said, as she grew, I guess like a year afterwards, that issue never came up anymore. But it was just a little outburst. We'd be sitting at the dinner table or something, and she would say that. But after my mother sat down with both of us, and to show and point it out, like with my cousins and all, that some of them were dark skinned with natural red hair, that she could see the difference, then that issue just dropped. It wasn't really an issue. It was something that it was explained to her on her level that she could understand. And it just ended.
So how did that make you feel?
Being young and at that age, I didn't feel bad. I thought it was funny. To me, it was funny.
Okay, so you do remember her making those comments at that time?
Yes, yes.
And how does that make you feel, Miss Walker?
Now, because when I was told that I made those comments, I don't remember that time. But it doesn't make me feel any different. Because, like I said, I looked up to her, and I always felt protected by her.
Okay. So you looked up to her, and you felt protected by her, and we understand that. But I guess where I'm getting is you knowing that she knew that now. You know, she was aware of how you felt back then, and now you finding out how that she actually knew about it. How does that make you feel?
I'm satisfied because she thought that it was funny at first. She thought that it was a joke. And once she said, my mom explained it to her about the differences in the family, in the skin color, and I accepted it.
So you now have accepted it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, since your relationship, since you've grown up together, roughly, would you say that you've grown up together, or would you say that you've grown up separately?
I would say that we grew up together because we have in the family, we have a strong family bond. And by me being 11 years older, the things that I did with my girlfriends or my peer group, I always included or tried to include my sister and take her to different places. If we decided the group was going to go to the park, she would be there. I would take her with me. So I really never excluded her.
Okay. And Miss Walker?
This is very true, because even when she went to Morgan State and they had a swimming pool, she knew that I couldn't swim. But I remember we were in the water, and she had put her arms around me as if to say, you're going to be okay. You can't swim, but you're going to be okay. So she never left me alone. And we did a lot together. The only separation was when she got married and she moved away, but she would still come and get me, and I would stay with her on the weekend.
How did you feel when Miss Manning got married?
I was happy because I was in the wedding. And I was happy to get a brother-in-law. And most of her friends that would come to the house, they were all friendly, and it was just like one big family.
Okay, but you mentioned that you weren't together when she got married. So, not saying that you weren't happy for her when she got married, but how did you feel knowing that you would have to share your sister with another person?
I missed her. But she made sure that I was there with her. Because I remember being young, and she'd come and pick me up, and she'd let me play in the basement. And so when she traveled, I traveled.
Miss Manning?
Yes, I never excluded her. In fact, as the siblings came, I always made sure that I did things with them. Examples, I would come back and tell my mom, well, I'm going to, for the weekend in the summertime, I'm going to take the kids to Wildwood, New Jersey, or different places, Hershey Park and everything. So they were always used to going. And in the summertime, when I was off on weekends, I did things with them. And I have two brothers that came along. It's almost close to my son's age, so it just went with me.
Okay. Well, how would you, for lack of better terms, how would you rank your relationship from then to now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank your relationship? Would you say your relationship has actually gotten better? You've gotten closer? Or would you say your relationship has, taken a slight decrease, it was for whatever reasons? How do you feel your relationship is now?
I feel as though, well, both of us worked. And when we were in the work world, both of us are retired now. And we didn't really get a chance to spend time together.
Okay.
Because of the hours and the jobs that she worked and my job. So now that we're retired, we were able to spend quality time together and do fun things together.
Okay, Miss Manny?
Yeah. I love it since we both retired, and different ones, they laugh and joke because they say, oh, you haven't gone home yet. I'll come over to my sister's and we stay, we do things together, and her friends, they all look up to me as the oldest one in the group or their mother because of their age difference. And so they include me into different things. I mean, on weekends we do things together. We've been able to take trips together that we have. And I remember on Kat's 21st birthday, she had never been to Vegas. So my birthday gift to her was a trip to Las Vegas for that week for her birthday. So we do special things together. This year's the first year, 12 was the first year that we all, the siblings, were able to do a holiday out of town for Thanksgiving. And we went to Myrtle Beach. We rented a house that we were all there together. So being retired has really changed and brought us much closer together. We speak on the phone every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay. So how would you rank it? Would you rank it, let's say 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest? How would you rank your relationship as it stands now?
I would rank it a 10.
I would do a 10.
And how about in the past?
In the past, because the way, by me being a retired police officer and the way that I work shift work and everything, in the past, I would say a 7. It was a 7 because of the way the schedules ran and by her working and with me doing shift work, I would say a 7.
Okay.
But even at a 7, we still was able to go on trips together. We were still able to spend that quality time together.
Okay. Let's see.